indictment, and he was given that maximum sentence of 8 years. However, while Destiny still struggles with her injuries and her developmental disabilities, Terrence King is going to come out this year. All right, 8 years. That's not even 10 years old yet. And this man's going to come out of prison. This law that State Representative Hackett has introduced, it adequately addresses these situations where victims of violent crimes are substantially and permanently injured as a result of the violence. I've seen, in my years of prosecuting, I've seen too many times victims who are going to have to live the rest of their life as a result of what a defendant did to them when the defendant will not be incarcerated for a sufficient amount of time to bring justice to that victim. This bill, again, addresses that. The specifics are, if we are able to go into court and prove that as a result of a violent crime, the victim has suffered a permanent and substantial injury, then there will be an additional specification as far as sentencing goes that would subject the defendant to anywhere between a minimum of 5 additional years and a maximum of 10 additional years. Again, that floor of 5 years is an add-on to whatever the underlying crime is. So they would have to serve that time prior to and consecutive with the underlying felony. The ceiling in that situation would be 10 years. So in effect, in Destiny's case, Terrence King, who inflicted these injuries, although because of the severity of injuries, will never be able to bring full justice to Destiny, we would have been able to provide a better measure of justice. And he would have looked at a sentence range that would have run from 13 to 18 years as opposed to a maximum of 8 years that he ended up getting. Again, a lot of these injuries, a lot of these cases involve kids, involve children who are shaken, shaken baby syndrome, shaken impact syndrome. Kids, because of their developmental physiological state or neurological state, are more susceptible to these long-term injuries. So this is a measure from Representative Hackett that really kind of protects kids, although it's not limited to just kids. This measure will protect the 19-year-old domestic violence victim who gets hit so hard in the face that she is permanently blinded. It will protect the citizen who, in a robbery attempt, is stabbed and loses partial function of their arm to the extent that it affects their ability to engage in normal life function. This bill, again, although it addresses these issues, it will never completely restore the victim back to the point that they were before the abuse, before the attack, before the violence. However, what I've learned in this job is victims will accept that. They can't accept the fact that their life will be forever changed if they feel some sense of justice, and some sense of justice has been served as a result of their suffering. And I think this bill and Representative Hackett's efforts on this issue take us a long way in accomplishing that. Thank you. I'll open it up to questions, I suppose. Turn back to Representative Hackett.
Actually, that's what we'll do. We'll open up for questions. Any questions? We have to get to, actually, they're going to testify today in committee.